Alex Jones.
Oh. I don't know what it means.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Sir? Shit.
I'm here, guys. It's great to be back.
There he is.
I was just fucking around. You really there?
I'm here waiting in the wings.
What the hell was up with the Guns N' Roses music? I'm very confused. Do you know? Probably not.
We were just sending you music to give you audio to know that we were connected to you.
Oh, okay.
That's how
I
it
got
works.
you. We got
That's
Patrice
how it works.
O'Neill in studio.
Alex has no patience for anything.
Nah.
You have patience, Alex, don't you?
He told you
exposing
exactly
stuff.
what it was.
He's busy exposing things.
A couple things. We were just talking about aliens because Brett Ratner was in studio. He's producing that movie Skyline that starts tomorrow. And he thinks the aliens are on their way and they're going to be attacking soon. What do you got on that, Alex?
Well, we know that obviously Hubble telescope in orbit has photographed hundreds and hundreds of billions of galaxies. And now it's been able to look even further out into space and begin to photograph clusters of trillions of galaxies with just unbelievable amounts of planets orbiting those tens of trillions of suns. And so there's no doubt that there's life in the universe outside of our tiny planet, two-thirds of the way out on the spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. That said, search the term Project Bluebeam. And Project Bluebeam is a partially declassified U.S. government program to have fake alien landings as a pretext to unify the planet around world government against an outside threat. And now the United Nations, the Vatican, and others have appointed full-time ambassadors who are on call 24/7 to meet the aliens when they land. And so we know through the mainstream media and the controllers of culture that they're really imprinting the public mind and the subconscious with the idea that the aliens are coming. And under Project Bluebeam, they admittedly have programs to project giant flying saucers into the sky, Buddha, Jesus, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man if they choose.
So you don't believe in the horse shit with the aliens, right, Alex?
Well, I'm saying that I don't know if aliens have visited the Earth.
But do you feel that way? Do you think that happened?
I know that there's a government program to create fake flying saucers in the sky, and I know that the Air Force admits in the 40s, 50s, and 60s that the Army, Air Corps, and the Air Force and others hyped up the UFO phenomenon to cover up their secret
personally, and I'm saying
programs.
Personally, your personal just, you live in, do you personally feel like there's aliens watching us?
To be clear, I believe that there is life in the universe. I don't know if there's aliens.
I feel the same way there's life, but I don't believe in fucking that they're watching us. And the only reason I don't believe it is because I don't believe if they had the technology, or like if we had the technology to watch things, that we would just be peeking for 10,000 years and then come out of a cloud and whatever. I just don't believe they're up there playing games.
Well, Patrice, I tend to agree with you. And look, I mean, there are trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies with hundreds of billions of stars per galaxy. And we're pretty self-centered if we think out of untold quadrillions of planets, with billions of them no doubt being habitable, that anybody cares about us. It's kind of like if you're walking through a field that's got a billion bacteria in the dirt and on the grass, that you bend down with a magnifying glass and obsess for thousands of years over one little group of bacteria. Now, there is another view in all of this that my gut tells me that if the aliens are here, and if all of this just isn't an elaborate disinformation operation, and then a lot of fiction writers and people get tied into it so it gets a life of its own, that these aliens reportedly, and it is in a lot of the ancient Sanskrit, the hieroglyphs, I've been down to the Aztec temples in Mexico that literally have what looks like rockets and jet aircraft carved on the walls, that if these aliens are really here, that it's not aliens, that it's humanoids or our progeny from hundreds, if not thousands of years in the future, who are coming back in time, and the quantum mechanics of Einstein and others have shown that this is real, that our advanced civilization may be time traveling back to manipulate the future or to study, or with all these abduction stories, maybe they need the genetics that they've lost from primitive times, so it's really us coming back.
That's very
interesting.
Confusing.
No, I got what he's saying.
You got it? You
I'm on
that?
I want to switch gears here a little bit, talk about this missile. What are you hearing about the missile / airplane?
Well, they've had former NASA rocket engineers, rocket scientists, and they've had one of the former Joint Chiefs of Staff have been interviewed day one, saying that's clearly some type of sea-launched missile. Looks like something similar to a Polaris submarine launched. And we know that in 2000, you can actually search a North Korea-fired missile at Alaska 10 years ago. Of course, North Korea many times has fired missiles right over Japan, crashing into the ocean right off the coast to threaten them. They did it again a few years ago. North Korea fired a missile that came back into orbit. They fired it over the North Pole because they're right over the pole. That's the shortest distance for an intercontinental ballistic missile. And then it didn't have good aerodynamics. It was a dud. It was a drone. It was a test missile, no warhead. And it broke up over Alaska, its intended target, and rained down. That actually came out in the Alaskan newspapers. It came out in AP.
That they actually shot a missile and it hit U.S. soil.
Yeah, this was 10 years ago. And so what even mainstream news is now saying is that quietly the Pentagon, some people are saying China or North Korea had a sub pop up off the West Coast and fired a test missile as a threat. And, of course, just a few months ago, the U.S., the South Koreans, and the Japanese were out in the South China Sea and were firing test missiles as well. So this is what governments do, kind of like when they'd send the Russian Bear nuke bombers over during the Cold War.
Yeah,
they started doing that again.
We knew they were coming. How the hell does somebody get that close, especially someone with like North Korea, get that close to the coast of the United States?
Well, it's international waters. They've had cases. Notice tensions are very high right now because the private Federal Reserve has announced $600 billion to $1 trillion of QE2, quantitative easing, or monetization of debt, which is going to devalue all global currencies.
Yeah, just printing money.
And cause inflation because the dollar is the world reserve currency, so it's causing global problems. The Chinese government's downgraded our credit rating. They've been threatening us. The Russians are threatening the French, the German banking minister, finance minister. And so there's a lot of saber rattling, both economic and military, going on. And clearly it's not a contrail like the media tried to spin it later. Some type of powerful missile was launched off the coast. We only have territorial waters 12 miles out.
What would be the upside of them not acknowledging that that's exactly what it is and letting the people know that a foreign country is launching test missiles right off our beach?
Well, it was only in a few newspapers that North Korea actually fired a test missile and that it broke up and parts of it rained down on Alaska 10 years ago.
Off the coast of California, though, like in this day and age,
sure.
That's a little much. Like, what's the upside of them keeping it secret?
Well, the upside is the government likes to play like they're God and are all-controlling and all-powerful and can protect us. And governments do these type of things really on a routine basis to menace each other. And so it is a escalation, kind of a threatening form of diplomacy. Look, you can just search this. Or you've probably seen it. You guys are news hounds. We keep hearing about off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic, or off the coast of Japan, or in the Persian Gulf, Chinese and Russian subs popping up right behind our aircraft carriers, and then it's become a big deal because, and some admirals have even gotten in trouble because with the advanced sonar, how are they letting the Chinese and the Russians basically shadow and minish the fleets? And so this is all just a form of brinksmanship, hearkening back to the Cold War. Remember back in the Cold War when we were kids or teenagers, it was always on the news about the U.S. was sending submarines over to cut communication cables to the Russians, and they had subs, and then the Kursk, and our submarines running into their submarines, and I mean, this is just an ongoing thing, and basically the Cold War type tensions are kicking back up. But I was speculating about this being Russia, China, or North Korea, mainly China or North Korea because it's in the Pacific, and that's their sphere of influence. They generally do it in areas that they consider to be their turf. Remember the Chinese, basically flying some of their aircraft into the C-130 surveillance, or AWAC actually, and then forcing it down. I mean, this is just ongoing type behavior. But what we do know is former top brass in the Pentagon, one of them a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and members of NASA have come out and laughed and said, that's obviously a giant missile trail, some type of ship or submarine launch system. It looks just like a Polaris nuke launch. And we know that if you go back to Bill Clinton, he got in a lot of trouble for helping transfer through Loral and Hughes the missile systems to North Korea and China.
I understand the missile system, but do you honestly think North Korea has nuclear sub capability?
I'm not saying it was a nuclear sub. They've got a bunch of diesel subs. Many of our subs are diesel because they tend to be more reliable in many cases and don't take as much maintenance. I'm saying they launched a warhead-free drone missile is what they're called.
But I like they even have the technology enough to launch a missile from a submarine at this point because their launches really are kind of archaic. When you look at their land-based
they've done submarine launch tests. They're off their coast over Japan. And they've done ground-based, and a lot of it's their long-range, 8,000-mile ICBMs that rarely make it into orbit. And so you're right. Look, I don't know. I mean, in fact, I haven't really covered this much on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com or on my own little radio show because when I can't document something, I don't really talk about it much. You guys raised it. It's kind of like the alien thing. I don't really cover aliens because I can't prove it one way or the other.
What do you think about Jesse the Body Ventura's show, A Conspiracy Theory? Have you caught this thing?
Yeah, I think it's pretty informative, but also entertaining for the general public. I'm actually a consultant on it, and I'm in the next.
Oh, you are.
And I'm in the next 4 episodes coming up. In fact, this Friday at 9 p.m. Central, it's the Police State series. We actually have an article up on Infowars.com dealing with this. And it's bombshell FEMA camps confirmed. And we actually went out to some FEMA camps, myself and the governor, and got threatened with arrest and other things. So it's.
Hey Alex, out of FEMA
right now.
Alex, out of FEMA camps, like, are they being loaded up now, or is this, or they getting ready to get loaded up?
Okay, let me be specific. And it's free online on YouTube. It's Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA. I released it 6 months ago. Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA.
It was good, too. I like that one.
And it takes 2 hours to go over the whole history of it, to show the congressional hearings where they admit the FEMA camps, to show the mainstream news articles, and to show people facilities that are designated as, quote, emergency centers.
Mind control. Mind control. I was a former governor. A fighter.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. I'm a former Navy SEAL, a governor, a fighter.
Just go back and forth.
You know what?
See, hold on. But
was that fucking Alex with a sense of humor? Goddamn!
Alex has a sense of humor.
God bless him.
Alex, our problem with the Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Show is he doesn't get into any real shit. Like, we want him to step over the line during the Area 51
when we
episode.
return, Jesse Ventura goes head-to-head with Area 51 security. I'm standing here, but I'm turning around. I'm not going to be shot. What happened, Jesse?
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
No one's going to shoot Jesse Ventura.
Guys, let me just say something about Ventura. He's been on your show quite a few times. I know you guys had that controversy with him, but I've known him.
We want him back, by the way.
I've known him. Listen, I've known him really well.
Yeah.
I've known him really well for about 5 years, spent a lot of time with him. He really is for real. It isn't a tough guy act. And, he's an older guy. He is grumpy sometimes.
I'm on my way to Plum Island. There's a dinghy following me.
Yeah, but
Turn around.
the issue is he's real. He's a great guy. And, he was just, tired that morning whenever you guys basically had your attack schnauzer on him. And
attack schnauzer.
No, you got. Unfortunately, the video doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
It was about an hour of going back and forth.
Jesse was being pretty obnoxious
and he
to
just
Jimmy. Wouldn't answer questions.
Yeah,
no, he was sitting there. He wasn't letting him finish.
Oh my God, he certainly was.
Hey, can you give me an idea of who may be going to a FEMA camp? Like, what do you have to be doing?
Please say what I want you to say.
Is it extreme?
Please say what I want you to say.
Let me tell you, Patrice.
Is it extreme or is
Patrice, the FEMA camps. The FEMA camps are real, Patrice. I'm a governor, and they wouldn't let me into the camp.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in. They won't let me into the reactor room at the nuclear reactor. What does that tell you?
Perhaps that there's radioactivity in there. They don't need you going in there, Jesse.
And the Plum Island one, come on, there was no boats following them. There was a boat.
Oh, yes, they were.
There was a boat way in the distance, sir.
You're not even. Oh, that's not true. Let me tell you.
There was a little Zodiac, like they had.
No, it was. Let me tell you what happened with that. Let me tell you what happened with that.
Yes, Al.
They couldn't get anybody to even rent them a boat to go out there. Plum Island's no joke.
But that's the guy's livelihood, all the people's livelihood. They're not going to risk getting in trouble going to Plum Island because it is a facility that you're not allowed on.
Ventura never asked them to even get near it. They just wanted to be able to basically go over into legal waters. You're supposed to stay a mile away. And let me tell you, Plum Island's no joke. They have 36, because I was a consultant on that show. I sent them the info, 36 level 4 bioweapons labs. Let me just shift gears because this is important. Previously, they would have these things in the middle of the desert or on islands. Level 4 are things like smallpox, Ebola, anthrax, but worse, that's only level 3. When they weaponize them or soup them up, supercharge them, they're now level 4. Now, just 150 miles or so from where I sit in Galveston, Texas, hurricane-ravaged, very dangerous place to put one. They have put, at the University of Texas at Galveston, a level 4 bioweapons lab. Now, get this, in level 2 containment. Level 2 is just when you're dealing with like the regular, seasonal flu or something, or a regular cold.
Now, why would they do that?
Well, let me break that down.
All right.
They've spent $6 billion in the last 9 years on what they call BioShield, and even the Washington Post, the Baltimore Sun have reported that these are factories making bioweapons and developing bioweapons, but it was sold to Congress. It was sold to Congress as defense, and now all over the country, San Antonio, Texas, I mean, the list goes on and on. They have level 4. Listen, level 4 is supposed to be 3 rows of barbed wire, minefields, machine gun nests, and be at least, I'm not joking, totally contained with a self-destruct system to burn it out, and 3 stories underground. Now, they've got level 4 behind little glass windows on the coast of Texas. Now, Lyme's disease, it's been confirmed, was leaked out of there at Plum Island. The West Nile, those are just level 3 type things. I'm telling you, this is a hardcore issue, these bioweapons, when you understand that the Rockefeller Foundation... I don't
understand why they're doing this. Why would they do that then?
Well, let me tell you.
What's the plan? What's the end game?
And if you guys want this stuff, because I didn't know you were bringing up bioweapons, I can send it to you. It's up on Infowars.com. Just type in Rockefeller Foundation developed vaccines to sterilize. And we've got all the government documents, UN, Club of Rome, Biological Diversity Assessment, where the globalists openly say, well, you guys know about Ian Fleming or whatever his name was that wrote the James Bond movies?
Yeah.
He was a member of OSS and then MI6. Well, notice he wrote the book Moonraker. Now, the movie Moonraker with Roger Morris, cheesy with Jaws and all the rest of it. Of course. But you've got this elitist industrialist who's going to release a bioweapon to kill everybody on Earth, then they're going to come back to the planet and repopulate it with the super race. Now, all of that is based on real government plans, but they're not going off-world to do it. They've got giant underground bunkers that they've spent trillions of dollars on since the 1950s. Let me just throw one out that I know you heard of.
Sir, wasn't every James Bond a super criminal that was trying to do something to the world? Like, that's every...
No, I know, but what
James
I'm saying
Bond
is...
plot.
That's true, because the one before that, The Spy Who Loved Me, was trying to kill everybody so he can populate the ocean.
Goldfinger wanted to make all the gold radioactive so he'd have all the gold in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you is a lot of these writers, he was a member of British intelligence, they put scenarios that are being discussed or talked about into films. It's kind of like The Wizard of Oz. I had a pretty big filmmaker on my show a year ago, and I told him, The Wizard of Oz is about the gold standard and the silver standard. He thought I was joking, went out and found out it's mainstream fact.
Really?
And he's now made a movie, The Secret of Oz, about that's airing all over television worldwide. But the issue is, yes, a lot of things that you see in movies are basically psychological imprints or images of what's really being developed.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is about the Fed. The Federal Reserve.
No, it's not. Listen, Opie and Anthony.
It's mind control.
Mind control.
They're using HARP.
We love Jesse, by the way. We want him back on the show.
I can't stop watching his show.
Yeah.
We
just want him to get in a little trouble.
When we return,
hey, have you guys seen the
listen, have you seen a battleship?
Hey, have you seen the parody?
Oh yeah,
it is
with
one
the
of
wrestlers?
the funniest damn things.
Hey, he's moving. I'm not taking a plane. I'm driving.
It is so goddamn funny.
It's
that guy
great.
nailed him. It was really good. No, I can't. But they really do over dramatize what Jesse's going to do, and then what really happens.
Jesse Ventura faces a line of M16s as he tries to get into some of the most classified locations. Are they there?
Yes, Governor.
All right, let's go home. I was turning around so I could get more info. They want to shoot me.
The show would be huge if he got arrested there, Alex. Tell him to get arrested.
He's
Tell him
gotta
to
get
cross the
arrested.
line.
Well, I will tell you with another
Area
network.
51.
Yeah.
I will tell you with another network, and I can't talk about it until it comes out next year, early next year, but on another even bigger network, I'm not going to get into it. I was there when people got arrested, and I escaped. I had to jump in a river. So
someone did that. Is that
Turd?
Is that one hosted by who's that hosted by? Gold Dust?
The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Warrior says conspiracy happens.
I am the warrior.
He knows. Alex knows.
Alex knows the whole deal.
Warrior says.
Warrior says Infowars.com.
We just wanted to get a little...
Listen here, Warrior. I'm a governor, and I like PrisonPlanet.com.
I'm a governor.
You working on any movies right now?
What, documentary films?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm working on one, a masterpiece that I've been working on for 2 years, dealing with eugenics. And let me just throw this caveat out on a serious note, just for something that I know your listeners have heard about, because it did get some attention a month ago. Oh, Hillary apologizes. The U.S. government secretly injected thousands of Guatemalan men, women, and children with live syphilis on purpose and told them that it was a vaccine. Oh. You see, it was already declassified. They just announced it to act like, oh, we're sorry we got caught. It didn't just end with poor black folks over 45 years being injected with syphilis, men, women, and children, in Tuskegee. It didn't just end with 4,300 U.S. foster children radiated to death. Just a few years ago, New York Daily News reported that they were taking poor children in New York, CPS was, strapping them down in pesticide studies and killing them.
Come on. Child Protective Services.
Come on, they're injecting Guatemalan kids with syphilis, but they're not giving pesticides to little kids. Come on.
Child Protective Services were taking children, strapping them down and spraying pesticides on them to see what would happen.
No, CPS would take them and then put them in a residential system controlled by Big Pharma, and they would test pesticides on them until they died. They would also test AIDS drugs on them until they died. New York Daily News.
Alex, let me squeeze in for it. Let me ask you this question, and because I believe in this type of shit, okay, as we know, but okay, why do one thing if you're them? Why put it on memos to classify or declassify? If it's like a room full of like 10 people, why not go, all right, you 10, we're going to do this fucked up shit, and then if we get busted, there's nowhere to get caught.
Just remember
there's no,
it. Don't write it down.
Yeah, there's no actual
Put your pens
fucking
down.
proof that we're going to do terrible things to
iPhone down.
Guatemalan kids.
Right,
Don't tweet it.
Don't tweet this, please.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how many people are involved with doing something like that? Like, it can't be more than 10.
All right, well, let me answer your question because this is key. Number one, I'm going to answer the question, but first I just want to say it is public. It is admitted. People always say that, well, if 9/11 could be an inside job, we would, people would come out. People would talk. Sybil Edmonds, FBI NSA translator, broke her gag order last year. She testified before Congress secretly. She was listening to the phone calls with the CIA in command of bin Laden on 9/11. Let me go further. Fox News 3 weeks ago. Just search the term. Anwar al-Awlaki, or al-Qaeda chief, met at Pentagon 2 months after 9/11. This guy's on the news at the time as the number 3 in al-Qaeda. Now, this is real. Check it out. As the number 3 of al-Qaeda, and it turns out he's hanging out secretly at the Pentagon. Let me go further. Then the head of Pakistani intelligence, who admittedly wired the money to the hijackers, hanging out at the Pentagon the same time. Hanging out at the Pentagon the day of the attacks. Okay, and the list goes, I can give you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But listen, they hide it in plain view.
By the way, this is why I don't believe in aliens in Area 51. Yeah. Because I don't believe that the average Joe, which is some soldier that they said keep this secret and keep honest.
Let me go further.
Can keep a secret like that.
Let me go further. Let me just drop total bombshells on you right now. Okay, 4 months ago, Washington Post spy talk, written by a former CIA agent, interviews the CIA section chief, and he tells him, yeah, we made fake bin Laden videos for U.S. television. Boom. Just search CIA admits that they made fake bin Laden videos. Well, I knew they were fake. They had linguists listen to the voice. It wasn't him. They did voice prints off the real bin Laden videos. They played them. It's all fake. Let me go further. You can search Fox News admits U.S. government growing opium. It's up 13 times, and they cut to Army and Marine Corps brass saying, yes, we give them the fertilizer and help grow the opium. Now, it came out in Vietnam they were shipping in the opium, okay? Look, they're growing the drugs, and so what do? They come out in the open now and just say, yeah, Al-Qaeda's hanging out at the crib over here at the Pentagon. Yeah, Alex, we're growing the smack.
Let me ask you this.
We're making fake videos. Yeah, we're taking the veterans' death benefits. What's he going to do about it?
Alex, let me ask you this, though. In a hypothetical scenario, what is it going to take, would you imagine, for the people, for all of us to go, oh, shit, this is real? Like, what could possibly happen? Like, you're telling these facts that you can find, but what could happen for everybody to go, oh my God, this actually exists?
Okay, well, first do this. What was the last question I forgot about? What was the last question I forgot about?
Why won't anybody, like, with these memos? Why do they make these? Why make memos?
Okay, I wrote that down. Now go back to the new one. I'll answer the new one first.
The new one is, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for everyone to go, this shit is real?
It's not just one guy that is saying this happened.
The people are going to go.
Just to be clear,
wow, fucked up. You guys fucked up.
Right, this is foul.
We saw the guy behind the curtain. We finally saw it.
But people all wake up, and it's like, this is it. What's it going to take?
All right, well, let me answer the question, and I'm trying to write these down so I have them all here. Why make memos?
He's making memos.
And what's it going to take? Okay, let's go to what's it going to take. Let me answer the question this way. Do you know about titrating the dose?
Okay, so you're going to answer it by not answering it.
No, I'm going to answer it with precision. Are you ready for this?
What?
What do snake handlers do?
Handle snakes.
And what do they do in case they get bit? They give themselves small amounts of the venom, and they build it up over a few months until they can take a king cobra bite and not even get a headache.
That answers it for me.
No, this is going to answer it.
Yeah.
Patrice says, what is it going to take? Okay. Well, they know that it's starting to come out because of alternative media, so they're titrating the dose. They're showing us the man behind the curtain, but saying he's nice. He brings us popcorn. They are, because the alternative media has shown the man behind the curtain, because they can't deny world government or Bilderberg Group or eugenics or population reduction anymore. But they're now coming out and showing us more and more to acclimate us and to condition us through perception management to go along with it, so that as it begins to come out that this is almost all staged, that people will just be basically desensitized.
Right, when it does finally come out, we'll go, okay.
Do you hear like footsteps in lonely parking garages at night? Are you a paranoid gentleman? Are you always looking over your shoulder because of all this stuff?
You know, that's a good question. And then I'll go back to the turd make memo type stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine, I mean, I'm a syndicated radio host just like you guys, and I'm somebody who, I'm just trying to put you in my shoes because I'm also in your shoes. Oh. I'm somebody who goes out and gives public speeches.
That's very
I'm somebody who, I do lock my doors at night because I have children, want to keep them safe. But no, I'm the opposite of that. I'm not a paranoid person. Yeah. I'm a realist, and I'm bold, and I'm a public figure, and I'm not living in fear. I'm challenging the New World Order. And then people say, well, why haven't they killed you then? Because if they kill me, it underlines, it highlights, it puts 10 exclamation points behind everything I'm saying.
I think
if they killed you, it's just another little bit of venom. That's all.
That's right.
Just a little bit of venom to make it a little easier to get the big bite.
It would just be food poisoning or something, too.
Yeah. It would be like, oh, look at that.
An obvious killing.
His brakes went out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, I'm 36, and so I don't think I'll be dying of a heart attack anytime soon. But, you do have a good...
You're only 36?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What's up with the voice?
Uh-oh.
A little too much Jack Daniels and Marlboro Reds.
Okay.
The government's beaming radiation into my throat.
The Warrior. I did too many Warrior imitations when I was 7. Look, the Drudge Report has our story, top story again.
Yes. Which one is that?
I don't know. Drudge for 7 days straight has his top story. But we did a story about Drudge actually stirring national debate over TSA abuse. I'd like to talk about that with you guys if you want to get into it. But first I should answer the question about my voice, and then I should answer the question about...
No, you answered the question about your voice.
Yeah, well...
No. I mean, to be honest, I had a little bit of a deep voice growing up, especially when I'm being, calm. When I get excited, it's high. But I didn't ever take speech lessons or drama or anything. I didn't know, starting at about 20 when I started bullhorning, different government officials and people that, I'm screaming so loud that I'm coughing up blood. And so I've lacerated my larynx.
Oh.
And so I've been to a doctor about it, and they said you need to focus and speak from the front of your mouth, which I'm trying to do now, because if you continue to talk like you really talk from the back of your throat, you're going to sound like a dead toad by the time you're 50. So right now I'm having to consciously talk like this to not sound deep voiced, because if I actually talk the way I talk, it sounds like this.
How do you hurt your voice when you're talking out your ass, Alex?
Well, hey, that gives me 2 mouths. That's one for you, attack weasel, to put in your face. Why are you thinking about my ass so much?
I don't know. Because I heard you're 36.
What happened?
Was that attack weasel smart enough to me?
Yeah, fucking Jimmy. Jimmy,
listen
shut up.
here, boy.
Goddamn Norton.
I'm a Navy SEAL.
See? You're going to get in trouble with another guy, Jimmy.
I'm just joking. I like Jimmy.
So where was he at? The memo? We was at the memo.
Yeah, the memo.
Well, I want to know about the secret hearing, too. How does he know if it was secret? I get confused by that type of thing.
Now, which of the secret hearings? What are you talking about?
That secret hearing.
With the woman you were talking about.
With the woman, yeah. How do you know if it was secret?
Okay, well, number one, if you simply go look up...
You said she did it secretly in front of Congress.
But it was memos. It had to be memos.
But then it's not a secret. If
look, we had a Perry Mason moment. Look, guys, we got him. Oh, it's Bugs Bunny here.
Turd.
Hey, Matt, how you doing there?
Turd.
I got you.
Alex is we got to interrupt him because he'll kick our ass. This guy knows what he's talking about.
No, it's a fair question. If she did it secretly, how do you know, Alex?
I know, but I'm trying to answer the question, and that's why the governor governor got mad. You asked me a question, turd. Now I'm trying to answer it.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Alex?
Let her
That's
rip.
more like Macho Man, isn't it?
Yeah, that was. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Infowars.com. It's gold. Yeah.
They're poisoning us with Slim Jims.
See?
Well,
See?
actually, MSG is a neurotoxin to the brain and an excitotoxin, but it's also addictive. That's why we put it in the food so you eat more and weigh 600 pounds. Step into a Slim Jim.
Wow.
Hey, I like that.
He knows
Answer
that.
the question, Alex.
Yeah, okay.
No,
That's right. I'm
wrestling
dodging
voices.
now, even though every time I try to, you interrupt.
No, you're
That's
interrupting
true.
with your own wrestling voice.
Okay. I'm just trying to have some fun here. All right, let's get serious.
Jimmy, shut up. To let him talk.
Anyways, okay, let's get serious. Okay, how do I know? Because actually, you guys are right. I can see how that sounded weird. There was a secret hearing, and she went public about it. Okay, Sybil Edmonds, along with Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, I've interviewed all these people, and many others, the government said, we want to hear what happened on 9/11 from the NSA and FBI people. We want to hear what happened from the FBI agents, remember, who all went public and said, look, we've got gag orders on us from the closed sessions of the House 9/11 Commission. That was the first commission before the Bush's 9/11 Commission, but it happened in both. And they said, we want to hear what you have to say. And then after they would tell them what they'd seen, they'd say, you're now sworn to national security secrecy. You will be arrested if you tell anyone. So it was a way of, oh, tell me what you know. And it's like, okay, now you can go. And then the mob shoots you in the back of the head. But this is a political shoot you in the back of the head. And that's why 6 of the 10 commissioners of the 9/11 Commission have now gone public saying the official story is a lie. And there was, quote, a Pentagon cover-up, source Washington Post. Now, but how do I know about this? Sybil Edmonds, FBI translator with NSA transcripts, listening to Al-Qaeda, and she's now broken her gag order. That means she could go to jail, but she challenged him. 8 years after her gag order last year, she went public and said, look, I was listening to these transmissions. It was mercenaries dealing drugs and weapons. It was Al-Qaeda working with the CIA, the Taliban. It was bin Laden taking orders from high-level CIA. This was insane. And that's what we get from the other whistleblowers now. She was listening to these. And then Stratus Ivy and Able Danger, run by Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, and the Pentagon blacked out most of his book. He was running a Pentagon hit team, because there's dark side and light side, the good guys. They knew where bin Laden was. They knew where all these guys were. They were ready to kill him repeatedly. They were always ordered to stand down by the CIA and, quote, contractors. Now,
why?
Now in federal court 2 months ago, it comes out that what is Blackwater doing? They're involved in guns and drugs and trafficking all over. This came out in federal court. It's now come out that Navy SEALs.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. That must have been on your end.
Okay, that wasn't on my end.
All right.
Anyways, Navy.
That's weird.
Navy SEALs have just been arrested in the U.S. selling hand grenades.
Oh my God! I've got to go get them.
Not a Navy SEAL.
No one gets left behind.
And then what happened?
Remember, Alex, I'm a Navy SEAL.
What is going on?
And then,
has he answered one question? I'm confused.
I don't know. This
I totally answered your. Hold on.
I
totally answered your question. I totally answered your question. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, on record, they blacked out his book.
But I can't.
Okay,
Right.
he testified in secret. Sybil Edmonds testified in secret. She's
Google
now
fast
broken
enough.
her gag order.
Sybil
She's now
broke her
broken
bag.
it. That's how I know about the secret meeting.
Oh, okay.
How about the memo?
All right, the memo,
Alex.
thing. Where's the memo?
Meaning, and the question is, why these memos that can be traced back to classify or declassify when it's like you watch these movies and it's like say a scene in Goodfellas where we all rob a bank and then
everybody gets killed.
and then everybody gets killed, or like where they can just hide it instead.
Well, that did happen with Kennedy. Hundreds and hundreds of people who were witnesses of the grassy knoll, the people on the trains and the train conducting tower, all went bye-bye. All got, multiple caps. Just like good old Lee Harvey Oswald, old Jack Ruby took care of him real quick. Now,
yes.
Now, expanding on that, let me answer that question. We were once a freer nation in certain respects. We were more unfree, but more free in other ways. Imagine the CIA is founded in 1947 out of the OSS. And I'm going to answer your question. This is how I answer it.
Uh-huh.
The CIA was founded And everybody said, you're going to let a group have billions of dollars and operate in total secrecy. Okay, they can't operate in the U.S., and everything that these national security groups, not just the CIA, but now 16 other agencies, does, it's got to be declassified every 10 years. Well, now they make it 20, or in some cases 40. They've reclassified the JFK assassination out to 2040. It was supposed to be declassified, all of it, next year. And so we have for your request, Freedom of Information Act, but, I sent mine off repeatedly. The FBI...
Wait a minute. So in 2040, there's going to be papers that come out and kind of go, all right, this guy was up here, we had 6 agents here, we called off some of his personal protection.
Yeah.
We had so it's going to be some papers that's going to say, all right, here it is, everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, let me explain that. This is a bureaucracy with millions of employees, okay? Mm-hmm. And there are millions of people involved in all of this, and it's basically all a psychological operation. Most people in government are good. Most people in private industry are good. I mean, they're not perfect, but they wouldn't do really horrible things. They have some morals. So they have, I've discovered from stuff that has been declassified, they shoot pregnant women up with uranium and plutonium. That's declassified. They radiate small children. They spray nerve gas on U.S. troops in Project Shad and kill them and tell their families they died of the flu. Not to test the nerve gas. They can test it on rhesus monkeys or rats that have almost the exact same, metabolic system. If something kills a rat, it's going to kill a human. Something kills a dog, it's going to kill a human. They don't need to test it. The reason they're testing chemicals...
Yeah.
The reason they're testing chemicals and biologicals on people is to create cadres and groups of psychopaths who they know will follow orders and who they've already compromised, so they can have them then go run even bigger divisions and then give people psychological questionnaires and things and then test them and see if they will be involved in all this evil. I mean, here's an example of how they take a young special forces...
What question are we answering? I'm so confused.
Okay,
you asked me about the memo.
You asked me why they have memos.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about
I'm telling you,
quadrants.
it's because they've got a large command and control structure.
Okay, all right.
And just like you guys have probably got a memo hanging up in the bathroom, saying don't crap on the floor, because I bet some of you do that.
Well, actually,
listening to your show.
It's about blowjobs, actually.
I'm just joking. The point is, I'm sure exactly. You got to put a memo up. And so that's the bottom line. Okay. And then I was explaining the psychology of how they take a young special forces captain who's 25 years old.
We might not be as smart as this guy.
I know. Well, he's very well researched and well read.
Yeah, you're very well read, Alex.
Well, but listen, guys, I'm not really that well read.
Right.
Some people are experts on Harry Potter, or they're experts on the NFL.
I like Harry Potter.
Oh, Martha.
Or they're experts in gardening. Listen, all this stuff so much stuff is admitted.
Right.
There are over 10,000 declassified examples. You know how many times they've released nerve gas in the New York subway?
806.
No, more than 20 times. Do you know how many times they've released bioweapons in the New York subway?
Are you kidding me? Now, how do people get away with that?
Do they take out
Listen, you have a computer in front of you, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just search biological experiments, New York subway, 1968.
68? Oh, okay. I could buy 1968.
But remember, they only declassify this now every 30 to 40 years. But yes,
they probably did. They probably did.
It makes no fucking sense
to subway lines.
To do some horrible shit that's secret, right? And then follow the rules of declassifying or classifying. It just makes
it makes perfect sense if you're a psychological warfare chief with 180 IQ.
Go back to snake venom.
Okay, now what I see is
handlers.
Army germ warfare experiment in New York subway system. Now that could be anything from dumping anthrax on people or studying a group dynamic. Actually now
we know what happened with it.
But it could be
they released a bacterium, and it was a test. The Army doctors were told to see how it spread, But it was really a test to see if they would go along with it. And they had Army doctors posing as regular doctors in all the local hospitals, and then they didn't give people treatment because they wanted to watch them die.
Damn.
Just like injecting little Guatemalans with syphilis. Oh, but the government wouldn't commit 9/11.
Well, and to keep this information is crazy. Like I know they do it, but it's like to keep this information.
Let me go further.
To just go.
Memo?
Hey, look at it. They keep it to go what? Like, hey, look at the shit we used to do.
Yeah.
Like, why even keep that as something you can fucking
put it on flash paper?
Yeah, it's just weird to keep this info. It's like how many people are involved with this mess? You know what I'm saying?
Too many people involved, I think, to legitimately get away with this for so long. Like I understand there have been misappropriations.
No. I need to get to the key.
There's definitely things that have been done by the government that have been shady and underhanded, especially during the Cold War. Absolutely. But I don't think it goes as deep or as far as you and the people that think like you. He's going to get to the
key, though,
okay.
Anthony. Get to the key.
I'm waiting for the key.
The key is this. They are practicing total insane evil.
Oh, shit.
Out in the open to break our will. You ever seen that HBO documentary about pimps and hoes?
Oh, love it.
And the woman's been run over by a car or whatever, and she's in the hospital, and she's all broke up. She's going, baby, I'm gonna get back up on my feet. I'm gonna get you that money. I'm gonna do whatever I got to for you, baby. I'll do whatever it takes. And then the mother's sitting there going, what have you done to my baby? And then they turn to him and they say, well, listen, how much do you pay her? And he goes, I don't pay her nothing. She's lucky if I give her some chicken once a week. Yeah. Because it's really female psychology.
So you're saying we're all just hoes.
We're all bitches.
We're beaten hoes. With the same mentality.
And so they're urinating on us. They're going, you know what? The Army's own manuals and the former head of the DU program says if the troops inhale 1 micron of DU, on average it'll kill them in 11 years with lung cancer, and the troops are dying of mass in the last few wars. Our troops are now using it over there in almost all the ammunition. 20 years ago, they wouldn't use it, but here on Veterans Day, now they just say, hey, use it, and when you die, what did Bloomberg report 2 months ago? That Prudential and other insurance carriers signed a secret deal with the VA 11 years ago to take the death benefits that troops have paid for, their insurance, through the VA from World War II through to today, and steal their death benefits, and their widows and widowers are told, you ain't getting jack. You know what that is? It's, baby, I'm going to get up on my feet soon for you. I just can't wait to get back to work for you now.
How do they get away with taking the death benefits?
They just do it. How do they get away? Right. How do they get away? ABC News with illegal aliens are allowed to go through TSA without being checked. How do they let illegal aliens rent aircraft without any ID? ABC News. How do they leave the borders wide open but say we've got to grope 2-year-old babies and women and squeeze their No, it's now the enhanced. It's always more. It's an act of submission. It's the cult of worshiping jackboots and worshiping tyranny.
But Alex, I said this when I was on your show, man. It really is our fault. We look at these people.
We like it.
We look at these people that do that to us as if they're not people. But we have to be willing to do that shit to each other. It has to be a guy willing to cuff a 2-year-old baby's fucking nuts at the airport. This can't happen with just some old generals that make decisions. It has to be a fucking scientist who's willing to fucking make a bioweapon.
Exactly, and that's the key. They're looking for their brothers. They're looking for their fellow psychopaths. They may be white, they may be black, they may be Japanese. They're looking for fellow psychopaths.
All right, how do I get in on this then? How do I get a guy? How do you get on the inside of this whole fucking thing? I don't want to be on the outside anymore.
I'll tell you the quickest way to get on the inside.
I'll
tell you the quickest way to get on the inside.
Yeah.
Join the Navy, get into the Navy SEALs. join the Army and get into the Rangers, and then become a Green Beret.
I don't think I can do that.
Let them know that you want to be corrupt.
What are the hours?
Well, I mean, let me tell you. Listen, I've had family. Listen, I've had family recruited into this. This is real. You want to hear this?
Yes.
Of course. I want to hear it all.
I asked the goddamn question.
The quickest way to join the New World Order as a on-the-ground drug dealing true gangster murderer is to join U.S. Special Forces. And then they will psychologically profile you. And if you're a good guy, they'll say, oh, you're a good guy, and you'll end up going and doing good guy stuff. But if you're a bad guy, they will progress through. They will send you to Chicago or Miami, like they did one of my great uncles. And he got out of it. They said, we want you to join the CIA. We're sheep dipping you as an Army officer, as they call it. And next they wanted him to narcotics traffic and do even more serious things. In Chicago, and he said no and got out. Most of them say no. But the fastest way to join the New World Order is to get into Special Forces, and then after you get sheep dipped and are now working for intelligence, it's kind of like in the movie No Way Out when Kevin Costner says, who are these men? And they say, they're men formerly associated with Special Forces. So you'll basically be a killer in a suit, and then to really progress, they're going to say, all right, we want you to go down here to Guatemala, or we want you to go down here to Nigeria. This minister didn't do what we want. We want you to go in, and we want you to gut their children and paint bloody pentagrams on the walls. And then if you go murder the children, you're going to progress up. You're going to have a whole hit team under you. You're going to have a house at Maui. You're going to be shipping coke
is this kind of like Manchurian Candidate kind of thing?
No, they don't need to turn you into a mind control slave. All they've got to do is find evil people that want to roll with the devil.
Who are the people that pick the bad people?
They're psychological warfare experts.
Yeah, they got fucking experts.
I want to be one of those guys. I want to be above them.
Can you do 50 pull-ups in a row?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Can you freeze? See, first, they got to take you off. First, they got to take you off the farm. First, they got to take you off the farm. First, they got to take you off the farm and make sure you're an absolute badass who can sit there,
Wait a minute. So the guys so the old guys at the top used to be physical maniacs, and they've just progressed into old dudes who know how to train physical maniacs.
They're like World War II guys.
Yes. In fact, you talked about Kennedy. I was actually given this 3 years ago, even before Rolling Stone carried it.
Anymore.
And
an hour ago we were.
Sorry. No, but this ties into it. You just brought up old World War II maniacs.
Yes. Love that.
E. Howard Hunt, who is the admitted, Ethan Hunt of Mission Impossible is admittedly named after him. Ethan Hunt, in that movie, is named after E. Howard Hunt.
Turd? Howard Hunt, one of Nixon's guys.
Yeah. Admitted former head of Black Op overthrow operations.
Can't play that game.
In World War II.
Think at it.
In World War II, he had over 50 confirmed sniper kills in China against the Japanese. So he's a World War II badass. They take him in. He runs Black Op hit squads. He overthrows 11 separate nations. And he was, it came out in congressional hearings that they believed he was the Black Op commander. He sued back in the 80s and lost over all this. Now, before he dies, he did a video, an audio, and a written interview and said, yes, I was the backup commander. And he went over the people that were even more, badasses from World War II and Korea. They were the frontline hitmen. He was the backup guy. He even got arrested that day at Dealey Plaza in the, he was the tramps with all the guns and the boxcar, and they were ordered to release him. And it's E. Howard Hunt, photo there.
Hunt was in that group.
E. Howard Hunt gave a deathbed confession and admitted they ran the whole op. And by the way, speaking of conspiracy theory, that's going to air not this Friday, but next Friday.
Yes, I know. I saw that one. I saw the last one on Wall Street, and I saw the
We've got a confession.
Trailer. Yeah. I like when he walks in on all the people on Wall Street. I got you. I got you.
Too much fucking info, man. It's just got to be like one thing that we all got to kind of got to follow. Like, it's just too much detail.
Okay, here's one thing you can do right now.
One fucking thing where
we could all do,
where you could start people off and go, look at this, and this will get you going.
Give us the kindergarten of what we can do.
Okay. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was interviewing top toxicologists, former EPA scientists, current EPA scientists, people who were concerned. Over 90% of the EPA scientists in 2000 and 2005 wrote letters, their official union voted, to say sodium fluoride in the water reduces IQ by 10 to 20 points. It doubles bone cancer. It is a chemical weapon. Take it out of the water, and it damages teeth and causes dental fluorosis. The same unions have come out and said that bisphenol A in plastic is feminizing men, making girls go into puberty early, and massively increasing cancer because it's a female hormone. Makes women more female, makes men feminine. Now, people always laughed at us about that. Now 4 states have banned it. It was engineered through a UN agreement. They have thousands of different combinations of ways to make plastic without it. Almost all plastic that you drink or eat out of. And when you microwave a TV dinner, it's bisphenol A plastic, it off-gasses it into your Salisbury steak and mac and cheese. And this is why we're so obese. The food ties into it. This is why we're so unhealthy. It's why diabetes is up by 3,000%. They have put soft kill chemical weapons in the plastic and in the water, and everybody can start realizing this and start filtering your water with a special type filters that actually take the fluoride out. There's different types. You have to check it, though, because all filters don't do it. You can stop eating and drinking out of bisphenol A. You can realize that GMO crops, in every study, just search GMO corn causes organ failure. Every major variety. It's engineered in by design. We are being soft-killed right now. That's the biggest issue, and it's covered in my film, End Game, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. It is free on YouTube and Google. Just Google End Game, and it's the top link there. Please, gentlemen, please. And there's an online bibliography, whatistheendgame.com. Whatistheendgame.com, and everything I say in the film is documented on that website.